I'm not against life. I'm against the collateral damage that comes with it. That's what I'm against. Because sometimes it seems like I'm against life. No, I'm not against life. It's easy to think I'm just against humans having babies. I mean, if you think that I'm just against humans having babies, of course you're going to think that I'm wrong. Of course you're going to think that I'm insane. Why would I be against humans having babies? That's not what I'm against. I'm not against life. I'm against the collateral damage that comes with life. That is what I'm against. I'm against suffering. Humans have to suffer in this world. That's what I'm against. I'm against humans being slaves. That's what I'm against. I'm against humans not having rights. That's what I'm against. I'm against humans causing suffering. That is what I'm against. I'm against sicknesses. I'm against depression. I'm against people having to end their lives in the worst way because they're not even allowed to exit peacefully. That is what I'm against. And I know that we can never have a world where these things do not exist. Now you might think, well, there are a lot of people who have suffered in this world, a lot of people who have had chronic sicknesses, a lot of people who dealt with depression, a lot of people who were treated unfairly in this society, but who still think that life is good. That is very, very true. There are a lot of people who have been through a lot in this world, but who still think that life is good. That is very, very true. But there are also a lot of people who have been through a lot who do not think that life is good. So I'm against people having to suffer even when they do not want to be here, even when they know that they do not want to be here. They have to suffer because there are people in this world who believe that life is sacred. That's what I'm against. I'm against humans manipulating one another, humans lying to one another, because we don't know what the truth is. You know, people are born in this world knowing nothing. And people start lying to them so that they'll be able to control them effectively. That is what I'm against. I'm against people being forced to do things that they do not even want to do because they're afraid of hell. That's what I'm against. What we must realize is that there are a lot of people in this world who have had really messed up experiences and who wish they were never born. There are a lot of people who have had messed up experiences and who wish they were never born. So for life to exist, there must be collateral. That is the problem. It's not like what we're interested in as humanity is making sure that we do not cause unnecessary suffering. We're not interested in that. When people are born here, they have to endure suffering because of our bullshit. We cause a lot of unnecessary suffering because of our bullshit. That is what I'm against. I know that there are a lot of people that are suffering because there are people who have not grown. There are people who are not as conscious as they should be. So they don't even understand that they're causing suffering. And they don't have to be causing suffering because it's possible for them to live without causing suffering. But they still find themselves causing suffering. That is what I'm against. I know that as humans, we're incapable of doing the right thing. We're incapable of minimizing suffering. It is totally unfair that some people have to suffer in this world that they didn't even ask to be born into, just because we want life to continue, because we believe that life is good, even though we don't even know why we think that life is good. You see? There are a lot of people who don't even know why they think life is good. They just believe that life is good. If you ask them, okay, why do you think that life is good? They won't tell you. I'm against people suffering because of other people's ideas about life. I'm against people having so much power that they are able to control other people who don't even want to be controlled, who want to be free to make their own decisions. Every person is different. Every person is unique. They have their own interest. They have their own values. They know what they want. They know what makes sense. No, except for the people that are brainwashed. I do understand that there are people who don't even think for themselves. They don't even know what they want. They don't even think original thoughts. I do get it that there are people who are like that. And I do understand that a lot of people who are powerful in this world want everyone to not, be able to think for themselves. I do get it, but to truly be human, you must be able to think for yourself. You must be able to be who you are. You are who you are, so you must be that. There are a lot of people who suffer because they're not even allowed to be themselves. Because there are people who think that it is wrong for those people to be themselves. You can't be yourself because my religion says that it is wrong for you to be yourself. That is what I'm against. That's collateral. We cannot live in a world where people are not trying to control other people. We cannot live in a world like that. That is not possible. Humans have always been like that since the beginning. They've always wanted to control other people. They've always wanted to have slaves. Slavery still exists today because humans have always wanted to have slaves. That is what I'm against. I'm against humans creating diseases for control. I'm against that. That's collateral. I'm against people being greedy. Like I keep on telling you, this planet is rich. This planet has everything for everyone. But there are a lot of people that are greedy, that are going to make sure that they have more things than they need so that they'll be able to control those who do not have what they need. That is what I'm against. I'm against people having to live in poverty. I'm against children born into poverty. That is what I'm against. No one has to be born in poverty. That is wrong. You have to understand that people that are born in poverty are deprived of a lot of things that they need to thrive in this society. They're not even given opportunities to learn the right things that are going to help them thrive. The system is rigged against them. So they have to be slaves their whole lives. That is what I'm against. That is wrong. No one has to suffer because of that. That's unnecessary suffering. That is what I'm against. It will make sense if, as humans, we were trying to minimize suffering. If we were trying to do the right things, if we were trying to fix the problems that we're having, if we were not selfish, it will make sense to say, no, actually we're trying to make things better. We're trying to make things better. We're fighting for a better world. But no, that's not what we're trying to do. It's every man for himself here. Each and every person is just trying to make it for themselves. And they do not even think of the damage that they're causing when they're trying to make it for themselves. So I'm against people having to suffer because of that. Because they didn't even ask to be born in this world. They didn't even ask to play this game. They just have to play this game because once they are born, we force them to play this game. We don't allow them to think for themselves. We don't allow them to judge this world. We force them to believe what we want them to believe about this world. You are wrong if you think that this world is not good. But it isn't. It isn't. There isn't a world that is good if it forces people to not be themselves. There isn't a world that can be good if it's like that. People have to be themselves. They have to be what they are. The moment you say, no, you can't be yourself, you must be what I want you to be, you are turning them into slaves. That is what I'm against. And I know that all the things that I'm against are not bugs. We're talking about futures here. We're not talking about bugs. We're talking about the world being exactly what it was created to be. So I'm saying it's unfair that people have to suffer in a world that they didn't even ask to be born into. People didn't ask to be born here. So why should they suffer? Why should we make it seem as if everyone must love this place by default? No one should say no. Everyone is obligated to love this place. Everyone is obligated to love this world. Everyone is obligated to be happy with how things are in this world. Humans like bullshitting themselves. In fact, this world exists now because we are lying to ourselves every day. Because if we really were honest with ourselves, I do not think that this world would continue to exist. But we have to lie to ourselves. We have to tell ourselves that there is a God that cares about us. If we start doing the right things, then things are going to be okay. And what we don't even realize is that the people that are telling us to do the right things are not even doing the right things. They're just telling us to do the right things because we believe them. You see? That's like if I was abusing someone and I was afraid that they were going to fight back someday. And I tell them that, If you believe in my God, if you do what my God wants you to do, you'll be alright. You'll be happy. In this life and in the afterlife, you'll be happy. Because think about it, a lot of pastors are lying to their followers. A lot of pastors are lying to their followers. They just want their money, really. That should tell you something. Human beings are lying to themselves. They believe in things that don't even exist. They have to convince themselves things that are not true in order to feel better about this world, in order to justify their suffering, in order to justify their existence. Because we found ourselves in a world that we don't understand for real. We do not understand this world for real. We don't know what the heck is going on for real. Isn't that crazy though? That we don't understand what the heck is going on. That should tell us something. I mean, that's a red flag. You don't understand what the heck is going on. You just found yourself conscious in a world where no one knows what is really going on. That is a red flag. We're supposed to know. It is important to know. If you don't know what is going on, you're going to be manipulated. You're going to be used. But people found themselves in a world that they do not even understand. We don't really understand how it works. We can't really be sure of anything here. So anyone can manipulate us. Because we're suffering. Humans are suffering here. So if a person comes up with some answers and convince enough people to follow them, then that's it. They can start a religion. Isn't it weird to you that we have too many religions in the world? It's not like we have one religion, we have many religions. That should tell you something. That human beings like to bullshit themselves. Human beings love power. And trust me, if you want to be powerful in this world, if you want real power, you just have to convince people that you were sent by the Most High. Humans are going to give you power. You can tell them to do anything. You just have to convince them that. Convince them that you were sent by the Most High. You're good. You will be able to control them. That is what I'm against. I'm against people being born in a world that they do not even understand, and them getting indoctrinated to a point where they can't even think for themselves. That's what I'm against. But I do understand that some people love this world. I do understand that. I do understand that there are a lot of people who have suffered. A lot of people who are sick right now. A lot of people that are going to die this week. A lot of people that are going to die next week. Lots of people that are going to die next month. Who have suffered their whole lives. That believe that life is good. I do understand that. Even though most of them believe that life is good because they've been brainwashed, or because they believe things that are not true. I do understand that, and I respect that. You can believe what you want to believe. I'm not going to force you to believe what I believe. I'm not going to force you to think what I think. I do get it. We're not even the same. I think a lot. I try to understand what's really going on. Most humans don't do that. Most humans just believe what other people who are convincing made them believe. You see? So yeah, I get it. You can believe what you believe. But what you must realize is that there are conscious beings, there are sentient beings that are suffering, that do not want to suffer. For real. That is what you must understand. And that should be respected. And that is why I'm an internationalist. I understand that there are people that do not love this world the way that most people who think that this world is good love it. We cannot all love the same things. So I'm saying it's unfair that they have to live their lives in a world that they do not love. And we keep on telling ourselves that, no, these people are just sick, these people are just depressed. No, they are themselves. They see the world the way that they see it. Try to have conversations with them. Try to figure out if they are just retarded or if they really do think. Because most of these people are deep thinkers. Most of these people are seeing things as they really are. Most of these people are able to see reality. So it's unfair that they have to suffer, because some people feel like this world makes sense. You see, that is the problem. My problem is not life. My problem is the collateral damage that comes with it. That is my problem, because no matter how hard we try, we cannot fix these problems that I've mentioned. We cannot fix these problems. That is why they've existed since the beginning. They've existed since the beginning because we can't fix these problems. We can try to fix these problems, but it seems like we just can't. That is what I'm against, because a lot of people have to suffer because of that. Without even knowing what is going on. Some people end up taking their own lives because of that. Because they feel like death is the only solution. I get it. We don't even know what really happens after death. I mean, what do you think happens after death? Do you think that life continues after death? Or you think that it's really the end? It's a valid question. Is death really the end, or life continues after death? No, there are a lot of people who believe that death is the end. And that would be good. I mean, think about it. If death was really the end, that would be good, because it will mean that people are not supposed to deal with life even after death. That would be messed up. So I do understand why a lot of people believe that death is really the end. A lot of atheists believe that death is the end. That's it. There's no life after death. Some people believe that we have souls. And when we die, our souls leave our bodies. In fact, they believe that we are not our bodies, we are souls. So when we die, we leave our bodies. And depending on how we live our lives, we're going to go to, a place that is good if we live our lives the way that God wants us to live our lives. If we don't live our lives the way that God wants us to live our lives, then we're going to hell. Some people believe that. Some people believe that life is consciousness having an experience. The physical world does not exist. Everything is a hallucination, which means there is no reality. There is no base reality. There is no reality. There isn't anything that is happening that is real. Everything is a hallucination. That's what some people believe. But think about it, what makes the most sense? What makes the most sense? Does it make the most sense to believe that death is the end? There's no life after death. Death is really the end. Oh, it's just what we want to believe because life is too hard. I mean, really, man. A lot of people have suffered in this world. So imagine if there is an afterlife. It won't be easy for them to believe that they won't suffer. It won't be easy for them to believe that they won't suffer in the afterlife. So it makes them feel better to believe that no, there is no life after death. But what makes you think that the process that brought you here won't happen again? Isn't it weird that you really came into existence? That's not supposed to be possible, but it happened. You came into existence and started existing. You think that happened by accident. You came into existence by you came into existence by accident. It seems very unlikely, doesn't it? If you didn't come into existence by accident, whatever created you has the power to create you again. That's the fucked up thing. Those who believe in souls, those who believe that humans have souls, most of them believe that we have souls because of the religions that they follow. It's not like there's evidence that we have souls. It's just easy to believe that we have souls. When you really think about it, it's easy to believe that we have souls. Because most people who are religious don't want death to be the end. Most people who are religious, because they believe that there's a God that actually loves them and he's going to make sure that they're in a better place after dying. They don't want this to be the end. They want to be in heaven. One thing that I've noticed about a lot of people who believe in God is that they really love God. Like for real, they love God, they love Jesus. They keep on posting that they love God, they love Jesus. On Facebook, on WhatsApp, on Instagram, they keep on posting. You end up realizing that they really love God, they really love Jesus, for real. Like they love God, they love Jesus. So imagine if that was not true. Like if it was not true that Jesus exists, if it was not true that God exists. So they want to believe that God exists, because if they end up believing that God does not exist, it will fuck them up. Can you imagine being in love with someone that isn't real? Imagine if you had schizophrenia. Can't pronounce this word. It's the only English word that I can't pronounce. I don't even think it's an English word. But imagine if you had they call this mental disorder. They even call it a disorder. I don't know if it's a disorder. I don't think it's a disorder. They call it schizophrenia. Yeah, schizophrenia. So imagine if you had schizophrenia and you were able to hallucinate, interact with people that other people do not see, and fell in love with one of the people that you interact with, and the doctor told you that no, that person is not real. Imagine that. That will tarnish your soul. Imagine, because you know how it is to really be in love with someone. To really, really be in love with someone. That's something. Like to really be in love with someone. So imagine being told that that person does not exist. You created that person in your head. Imagine that. So they want to believe that we have souls, but there's no evidence. There's no evidence for that. They just believe that we have souls because they've been indoctrinated since they were young to believe that we have souls, to believe in Jesus, to believe in God, to believe in Allah. They are really, really in love with these beings. That is why when you say that these beings do not exist, they hate you. They feel like you are their enemy. Why would you say that their God don't exist? It means you were sent by the devil. It means you're a bad person. You are evil. Some people believe that nothing really exists. Matter does not exist. Everything is an illusion. Everything is a product of the mind. Isn't that what's most likely to be true, though? That nothing really exists. Even this reality is an illusion. The truth is, we don't know what is going on. I'd say that it's most likely that this world does not exist. I've done a lot of work trying to figure out what's really going on. I'll make a video where I'll be explaining why I believe that consciousness is fundamental. I'll make a video where I'll be explaining that, because that really does make the most sense. I've believed in God. I've believed in the Christian God. I've tried other religions. I've believed in spirituality. I've believed in the theory of evolution. But I'm telling you, I think consciousness is fundamental. I think we're having a collective dream. But this is one reality we gotta escape. It's obvious that something is not right. It's obvious. It isn't something that we should be, questioning. It's a fact. We should stop being stupid. We should stop being gullible. We can see that something is not right. Something is wrong with this reality. For real. It's strange to me that we keep forgetting our dreams. Like, why should we forget our dreams? If we've been here before, why should we forget that we've been here before? If we existed somewhere before, why should we forget that? Why is it that we know nothing? A lot of people are suffering a lot because they don't know what is going on. Every day they're asking themselves, what's really going on? What is it that I should do? A lot of people are suffering and they don't know what to make of their suffering. I mean, you just suffer. And you're like, okay, what the heck is going on? I'm conscious. I've been here for maybe 20 years, 25 years, 30 years, 35. What is really going on? They don't even know what to do. People ask internationalists, why don't you kill yourselves? Why don't you kill yourselves? They don't know what the heck is going on. They don't know what happens after dying. No one knows what the heck really happens after dying. No one knows what's next. So people are scared. They know that there's something wrong with this reality. They know that they hate this world for real. They know that they're suffering, but they don't know what to think. I mean, imagine finding yourself in a place. You don't have any memories of your past lives. You don't know anything. You just find yourself in a place full of different people who don't know what the heck is going on. Some people have created religions. They believe that there is a God. Some of these people are kind. Some of these people are cruel. You find yourself suffering. Maybe because you don't have the things that you want. Maybe because some of the people that you're close to are abusing you. Maybe because you are sick. And people are telling you different things. They don't know what's going on. Some people are telling you that it's the devil that's making you suffer. They believe that there is an entity called the devil that wants humanity to suffer. So it's the devil that's making you suffer. Some people imagine some people telling you that you're suffering for a reason. God has put you in that world to suffer, and you must suffer because by suffering you're going to become what God wants you to be. Imagine that. The truth is, no one knows what the heck is going on, so we shouldn't be abusing other people or trying to control other people because we believe that we know what is going on, because we don't. That's what's crazy about this world. People don't know what's going on, but they want to act like they know what is going on, so they abuse other people. It gets to a point where it's no longer about truth. It's about power. It's about agendas. If I'm powerful and I have an agenda, I'm going to use my agenda to enslave other people. Because my life will be much better if I have enslaved other people. You see where the problem is. If I've enslaved other people, then my life is going to be better. And that's the issue. Because think about it. If I don't know what the truth is, why should I have a problem if some people think that what I think is the truth is not the truth? Let's just say I don't know what the truth is, but I'm like, okay, I think what product of consciousness, and nothing really exists. If some people don't believe what I believe, why should I have a problem with that? Why should I not accept that we're different? If some people believe that this world is fucked up, this world is not good, and they do not want to be part of it, why should I have a problem with that if I feel like this world is good? Because a lot of people that are against the legalization of assisted dying a lot of people that are against the legalization of assisted dying, what they do not understand is that they don't know what the heck is going on in this world. They don't know what this world is, why this world is here. But they want to force other people to be here, even though they don't know what this world is. They've convinced themselves that they know. Just like I told you that we bullshit ourselves a lot. We bullshit ourselves a lot. So we convince ourselves that we know what is going on. We know why some things are happening. And we find people who believe what we believe. You see, when enough people believe something that is not true, it ends up seeming very true. When enough people believe that something that is not true is true, it ends up looking like it's actually true. That's the problem. I'm not against life. I'm against the collateral damage that comes with it. We cannot live in a world where we are just free, where people can say, look man, I don't want to be part of this experience anymore, or I have lived. I don't think that a human should live until they are 60 years old, until their bodies start rotting. I don't believe that should be the case. Like, a person must live until they are old, until they die a natural death. I don't believe that. You believe that. We're different. Me and you are not the same. We're different. You believe what you believe. That's fine. I believe what I believe. That should be fine. But no, some people are going to be like, no, you're wrong. Because, you know what I mean? That's a problem. That's what I'm against. That's collateral. It's not like we're going to understand one another as people. You see? It's not like we're going to understand one another as people. We'll always disagree on a lot of things. But us disagreeing on a lot of things is not really the main problem. The main problem is that when we disagree, we start fighting because we want to force other people to be like us. You see? So if a person say, no, man, I don't believe that a person must be here even when they are sick, even when they don't know why they should be here anymore. I think something is wrong with that. That's what they believe. That's what they feel is true. It's true that a person must not be forced to be here if they don't want to be here anymore. That's what makes sense to them. You see? So if I force that person to be here because I believe that this world is good, then I'm not doing the right thing. I'm abusing that person. You see, the problem is that this world is full of devils and they do not know that they are devils. You see? It's full of people who are evil but who think that they are good. It seems to me that to be a devil, you must think that you are good. You must not know that you are evil. You see? So this world is full of people that are really, really evil, but they think they are good. They think that they are right. They think that they have a right to control other people because they are right. They understand what is going on in this world. That is a huge problem. And that isn't anything that we can change. It seems to be part of life. It seems to be what happens when you put people in a world and not give them tutorials on how to, live in that world. So they just create their own rules. They just create their own rules, create their own belief systems. So they end up enslaving one another. And they don't even realize that they're enslaving one another. They don't even realize when they're being abusive. They don't even realize when they're lying. They don't even realize when they're bullshitting themselves. That is why it's hard to be in a world like this. It's because we don't even know when we're doing things that are really messed up. You see, we do things that are messed up, but we don't even know that we're doing things that are messed up. That's what I'm against. I'm against the collateral damage. I'm not against life. If this world was evil, but only the people that love being here found themselves here, I would not have a problem at all. I would not even have a problem if people were conditioned to believe that life is good even if it's not good. I would not have a problem with that if they believe that it's good. I don't have a problem with that. If they manipulate you and you end up believing their bullshit, I don't have a problem. There are people who are religious, who have been lied to, who believe things that don't make sense. I don't have a problem with that. Believe what you believe. In my eyes, you're a slave, but believe what you believe. I don't have a problem with that. So yeah, I wouldn't have a problem if a world like this existed, but only the people that loved being in that world found themselves in that world. I would not have a problem with that. The problem is that there are people who are here who don't enjoy being here. There are people who are here who think that, no, man, something is not right for real. Something is totally wrong. And who have good reasons to believe that something is totally wrong. And who are suffering because of that. What you must understand is that if you are in a place that you don't like being in, you're going to suffer because you don't like being there. Imagine if they say, no, you can't leave. That's even worse. Imagine if they make you feel guilty for wanting to leave. Imagine you're in a place that you do not like, and people are, you want to leave, and people are saying, that's selfish, that's selfish. You didn't even ask to be in that place, but there are a lot of people that you care about that are telling you that it's selfish. That's crazy, right? That is what's wrong with life in my eyes. That is what I'm against. I believe that when we create babies, we're subjecting them to a life of suffering. Some of them end up not waking up. Some of them end up not realizing that they're suffering, they're being abused. That's fine. But some of them do end up waking up. They do end up realizing that they're being abused. You live in a world where people are creating laws for you, rules for you. You don't even have a say. You can't say, no, what? I don't agree with your rules. I think your rules are stupid. I don't agree with your laws. I think your laws are stupid. I want to be free. No, you can't even say that. If they say weed is illegal, then it's illegal. You can't smoke weed. They can abuse you for smoking weed. Even if you're not causing harm, they can abuse you for smoking weed. They can take you to jail. They can make you pay them money for your freedom because you did something that goes against the rules that they've created, against the laws that they've created. And the laws that they created, they are totally made up, because it's not like these laws are universal. It's not like these laws are universal laws. It has nothing to do with that. It's just humans bullshitting themselves, convincing themselves that they are right and other people are wrong, and they want to control the people that they think are wrong. That is fucked up. So I believe that bringing children here is wrong because of that and a lot of other reasons that I have not even mentioned on this video. So I've mentioned a lot of reasons why I believe that having children is wrong, but there are a lot of reasons that I've not mentioned in this video. But there are valid reasons. The truth is, no one wants to suffer. For real, like no one wants to suffer. It doesn't make sense that people are being forced to suffer because of what some people believe, And, here's what's fucked up. A lot of people are suffering because of what some people believe. But here's the thing. Those beliefs that they have are not even justified. They just have these beliefs because they were programmed to have these beliefs. That's it. They were indoctrinated into believing what they believe. It has nothing to do with, people thinking for themselves and reaching certain conclusions. No, it has nothing to do with that. So isn't that messed up? Is that what we must be proud of? Is that what must make us believe in this world? Or that's what making a lot of people who are able to think for themselves stop believing in this world? And they're very justified to not believe in this world. Because it seems to me that the people who believe that no, this world is good, they don't even have a reason to be believing that this world is good. They just believe that this world is good because they were brainwashed. So we're supposed to be listening to people that are brainwashed. We're supposed to be listening to people who cannot think for themselves. You see where the problem is? Because when you have conversations with this type of people who believe that this world is good, they say the same things. You end up realizing that they were just brainwashed. It's not like they're able to think for themselves. They say the same things. And things that do not even make a lot of sense. Things that make you realize that no, man, these people don't know what the heck they're talking about. These people were brainwashed. What you must understand about this world is that all of us are brainwashed. It's just that some people have been brainwashed worse than others. The brainwashing worked on them than it worked on, some of us. All of us are brainwashed. But some people have been brainwashed worse than others. That is why when you are having conversations with them, you realize that, dude, these people cannot think for themselves for real. And it's sad. It's sad that it's the majority of people in this world that cannot think for themselves. That's what's really sad. It's the majority of people in this world that cannot think for themselves. It's the majority of people in this world that are okay with all the injustices that are happening in this world, that are okay with the collateral damage that happens as a result of people continuing to procreate, people continuing to convince themselves that this world is good. It's really scary that it's people who cannot think for themselves that are justifying this existence. People who can think for themselves are saying, nah. Because they've had enough. They know what they experienced. And they are honest with themselves. What you must understand is that as a human, you are hardwired for survival. All of us are hardwired for survival. But once you become conscious enough to realize that, you know what, there's something wrong with the world that I'm supposed to survive in. You end up wanting to be free. You end up not caring about surviving. You just go like, you know what, it's fine. I don't care about this world anymore. Because I'm realizing that we are being manipulated. I'm realizing that we're not being treated how we should be treated as humans. I'm realizing that there are lots of rights that we're supposed to be having that have been taken away from us. Rights to make our own decisions. Even when those decisions seem bad to a lot of people. But we're free to make these decisions. We're free to make mistakes. That's part of being human. You must be free to make your own mistakes. Other people should not have a right to make mistakes for you. Because we've ended up with a world where other people have been given a right to make mistakes for others. Because if you force a person to be here, even if they don't want to be here, what if you are wrong? How do you know that you're right? Why shouldn't we just have conversations? Try to figure out why some people are feeling that way. And if they're wrong, it's them that are wrong. They're not being forced to be wrong. You see? They just made their own decisions, which is how things should be, if you think about it. But a world without real freedom cannot be good. So when you think about it, the freedom that we have is the freedom that has been given to us. And it's very limited. There are things that we know we are not supposed to do. There are things that we know that we're not allowed to do. Even when there are enough people who want to do these things. There are enough people in this world that want to smoke weed. At least in South Africa, weed is legal. At least weed is legal in my country, so it's better. And nothing changed. They legalized weed. I think they legalized weed in 2017 or 2018. Nothing changed. It's not like people started going crazy because weed is illegal now. No. People have always been the way that they are. Nothing changed. Those that wanted to smoke weed are smoking weed freely. Those that don't want to smoke weed are not smoking weed. You see? So no one is being forced to smoke weed. No one is being told that smoking weed is okay. No, nothing changed. Nothing changed. So you can see that weed being illegal where it's illegal has nothing to do with so you can see that weed being illegal where it's illegal has nothing to do with the government trying to protect its citizens. It has nothing to do with that. It has everything to do with control. So obviously, intelligent people would not want to live in a world like that. They would want to live in a world where they are truly free to be themselves. Because they know that they are not really owned by anyone. They should be able to own their lives. They shouldn't be owned by someone else. So people who are child free and people who are internatalists, in fact, people who are child free just don't want kids. But people who are internatalists are against procreation for reasons that are much broader than you think. It's not like they just hate kids or they're just against people having kids. It's not that. There are deeper reasons. They have reasons that are very, very deep. That's what's really important to understand. Thank you, guys.